Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time, and I'm here today to talk about the benefits of honeysuckle. So this is going to be most of your honeysuckles, but the two main varieties of the Lonicera are going to be the japonica and the, I forget how to pronounce it already. I'll put it right here. In fact, I'll list both of them right here. Now the japonica, or the Japanese honeysuckle, is the most invasive one. So a lot of you probably have a bunch of it already and would love to know how to use it. And thankfully, it is one of the two that is most used medicinally. And that one is typically the yellow and white ones as shown here. The honeysuckle that I have is sometimes known as the Mardi Gras. I think there's another name for it where it's pink on the outside, but then when the blossoms open up individually, they're yellow on the inside, and I love it. It's gorgeous. So I'll be mixing up photos showing some of my honeysuckle plus other varieties of honeysuckle and what it looks like in case you're unfamiliar. So the parts of the honeysuckle that are used, it's mostly going to be the leaves and the flowers, but also the stems. The fruit of it is toxic, generally speaking, in most varieties, so it's best if you just avoid the fruit of it. So I'm going to talk about the benefits, but before I get into that, I like to always explain this right off the top, that when I compile this information, I do not just get it from natural-based websites. I get this information from various different sites, including the NIH.gov, and then compile all the information, and a lot of times medical sites as well, like a WebMD and so on. I mean, those aren't always the most trusted sites, but they can also have very good information. So it's always important to never throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to where you're getting your information, because natural-based websites can have a lot of great information, but they can have stuff wrong too. That's why it's best to compile from all sources, and that's what I try to do. So let's go ahead and get on to this list of benefits. And one of those is for pain and inflammation. And in that case, it's the flowers and the leaves are used. So that means you can make a tea, you can make a tincture out of it, you can powder it. Anytime you're talking about something when you're using it medicinally, a lot of times any of those three can be done: powdered, encapsulated, making a tea, or tincturing. The flowers, or the buds in particular, are also very good for digestive health, and you can stir fry them into different dishes to use in that way. It also is helpful at preventing breast cancer, nausea, reduces brain swelling, it is immune boosting, and as I mentioned, it's good for healing various skin problems. Even though in some places I came across stems in particular for skin problems, the flowers are also very nourishing to the skin and anti-aging. It's helpful for diabetics as it helps to balance your blood sugar levels. It is anti-cancer, generally speaking, since it is a natural antioxidant. And that's mostly the flowers we're talking about there. All parts of the plant are good to use as a mouthwash, so you can make a tea out of it. It is naturally antiviral and antibacterial. It's helpful at dealing with insomnia, so it's going to help you sleep. Great for detoxifying the body, especially the liver. It is helpful with urinary disorders and arthritis. And now I want to get into something that I found really interesting, and that is in regards to respiratory health. That includes helping to recover from colds and flus, and even the current virus that we've been dealing with for over 2 years now. I found this information on the NIH that the honeysuckle plant is good for helping you to recover and heal from that. So that was pretty cool information to find. But along with that, it is very helpful for pneumonia. So remember, it's antiviral, antibacterial, so it's going to help your lungs to heal. Just overall general respiratory health when you're talking about the honeysuckle. Now, how I use the honeysuckle is I've only been focusing on the flowers from my own plants. My plants are still pretty young, but now that I know more about the leaves too, in particular their healing benefits to the skin, where the flowers are anti-aging, the leaves and stems are going to have more of the healing properties to the skin. So I might start incorporating those too when I dehydrate up my flowers, because what I use them in is my infused oil that I make my skin cream out of that I sell in my store. Now, because my plants are still young, not all of my skin cream has the infused honeysuckles in there, because I have to go with whatever herbs I have most of, and when I run out, I just use more of another herb. Currently, the last few batches of oil I've had to mix up, I've been out of honeysuckle flowers, so soon I'll be getting some flowers and be able to start dehydrating up and adding those to my oil again. But knowing what I know now, I will likely consider adding the leaves and the stems. However, my oil also does have comfrey and dandelion flowers and plantain, all which are very healing to the skin as well, plus several other herbs. If you're interested, I actually did just come out with a new infused oil for skin cream recipe or video where I give you a lot of different ideas of what you can use in that oil. And I'll go ahead and link to that down below. And I'll also link you to the video on skin health, generally speaking. And then a playlist I would like to give you is the one that this video is going to go in, because I've been working on these herb profiles now for almost 6 years. So I have a pretty long list of herb profiles where I break down the benefits of them, and I'll link to that whole playlist. Remember, some of these videos go back almost 6 years, so some of them are kind of old. And I'm always learning new stuff. And sometimes I'll even redo an old video when I learn more. Or just like with the calendula, I haven't redone that video, but I recently learned, since shooting that video a few years ago, that yes, you can actually use the leaves of the calendula as well. That most of your skin healing properties are found in the flowers, but the leaves are good too, and can be cooked up and added to dishes. And I'm sure as I go, I'll probably find more on the honeysuckle. So I just give you this information to give you a place to start, especially if you're already growing a lot of these things. Sometimes people don't even realize certain flowers like honeysuckle or calendula or borage or roses or sunflowers are even edible, let alone realize the medicinal values that they have in the many ways they can be used. Or lilacs. I love lilacs. And it's so exciting to see my young lilacs getting more flowers this year. And I just can hardly wait till it gets to a point where I'm just getting tons and tons of lilac. So I just did a video on that too, which will be in that playlist I'm putting down below. So don't forget to click on either show more right down here below my channel name if you are on a computer, or the little gray arrow over here on this side if you're on a smart device. That will open up the description box so you can find all the links and other information I'll be putting there. If you're already growing and using honeysuckle, or even foraging for it wild, because maybe you live in those places where it's just growing everywhere, please share with us down below your favorite ways to use it. Do you add it to salads? Do you cook with it? What do you do with your honeysuckle? Or do you make tinctures and oils and so on like I do? All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.